West London meet on a regular basis with the chief officers, chief finance officers and lay members to talk about a number of issues that affect all of the clinical commissioning groups in North West London. And it's been the forum's been used primarily for developing strategy, particularly shaping the healthy future and the out-of-hospital strategy. Through that group, it's been a number of issues have been identified that would also be useful to discuss across the 8. And we've been thinking through how that might work, what the governance might look like, and how we can work together more strategically across the 8 CCGs, whilst at the same time making sure that each individual governing body, each organisation is able to feed into those conversations. So one of the key issues was good communications back from the collaboration board to governing bodies, which is why I've written this particular report today. It focuses specifically around governance arrangements, and our intention is that future reports will feed back on the broader discussions at the collaboration board. So this was notes from a meeting on the 26th of June, and as I said, it talks about how we can work together across the 8, and it builds on conversations that came from away days at the end of May. And out of those conversations and subsequent consultation of some draft notes, the areas where we want to work together more closely across North West London are 3 of the areas where we've previously discussed at this governing body. And the first 3 are exploring co-commissioning of primary care with NHS England. Second area is around the commissioning support services, and now we've decided not to extend the contract with the commissioning support unit in North West London. We're bringing those services in-house, so we need a forum to make sure that it's still working, still delivering the services that we need as a governing body and as an organisation. And the third area is the financial strategy, where we previously agreed a financial strategy across North West London. We need a forum to make sure that is working to the satisfaction of the respective parties and still meeting the needs of Hammersmith and Fulham and our financial resources. I previously talked about strategy, where we work together across the 8. Another idea that emerged through the discussion is information technology. We have an informatics strategy which is forming across the 8 CCGs, where we're moving towards using a similar patient record, making it easier for providers of healthcare to have access to the right information to provide good quality care to patients at the time, rather than having to ask the same questions over again. So it makes sense that we have an IT strategy across the 8. So these are areas where we want to work together more closely and start have streamlined decision-making processes to enable each individual organisation a chance to feed into those discussions, but rather than have the final decision taken to 8 individual organisations to make, if we can have a forum where we can make those decisions together after having consultation with the previous governing bodies, that might make more sense. So this clearly needs a lot of thought through how it's actually going to work, and needs some principles by which we're going to operate. And the primarily is one of respecting the sovereignty of each individual organisation. And the second one is that where decisions are going to be made at a collaboration board, if that's what we want to do, the chairs wanted enough time for the papers to be sent out that they can canvass opinions of their respective governing bodies and other members of the CCG. And the third area is around making sure that we can sequence the various meetings across the 8 CCGs to happen to enable good quality decision making. So that's a snippet of the conversations we had at the collaboration board on the 26th of June. One of the key actions out of that was that we would write down what the governance arrangements look like. And it's why I'd like to introduce Emma Taylor, who said hello earlier on, who's here to support us write down the terms of reference and the other governance tools that we're going to use to make sure that we work this up correctly. Part of that work, we're going to think through some example decision-making processes and map out what they might look like and how we might do it more efficiently with the new arrangements. And as part of doing that, I'd very much like to have a seminar with the governing body between now and September to talk this through in a bit more detail so we can understand what it is that is being proposed and to make sure that we are comfortable with what's being proposed. And the intention is that proposals will be brought back to the governing body in September for consideration. So at that point I'll pause. I'm just asking the governing body to note the discussion so far, and I'm happy to take any questions on what I've just said.
At this morning's Hounslow meeting, there was the discussion that actually this is a decision for the Council of Members, and how we're actually going to get the council of members into the loop, rather than them feeling it's some top-down decision being imposed on them. And the suggestion was maybe there actually needed to be meetings with the council of members almost before the governing body, in order to ensure a full dialogue.
And we agree it's a very sensible thing to do. I mean, to enable this to happen, we will need to make an amendment to our constitution, and that decision to amend our constitution is one reserved to our members. So we need to bring them through this process and through the discussion as well. So we need to be part of that discussion.
So there's a kind of area of practicality of being able to engage our members sufficiently, given the timescales that you've mentioned.
Indeed, and any time we've made amendments to our constitution before, we take them to a governing body, and then the governing body recommends them to the members. So we need to meet to make our change to the constitution. The next window of opportunity ends on the 1st of November. So any meeting with the members needs to be between now and the 1st of November.
Any other points? Okay, thanks.
No, here, please.
Sorry.
So we're taking questions at the end.
Yeah, no, it was just that one of the questions was relating to the issue that you mentioned.
So can we take that question at the end, please?
Okay.
I will leave time for questions